All right, everybody. Good evening. This is our second new builder call. And tonight I'm going to talk about a little bit, last week we talked about what rank you wanted to achieve and the income that you were interested in and your vision and kind of your goals for doTERRA. And so this week I want to talk a little bit about the ranks and what they are, because as you are a new builder and even as you grow in your business, the ranks are kind of confusing and what you need to be and what you need to have in volume for your ranks. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And then doTERRA has kind of lined it out, or I should say Edge Success has kind of lined it out that once you, when you figure out what rank you want to be, it tells you how many hours you need to work and then how many months it will take to get there. So I want to kind of go over that with you. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about a getting started plan today too. Okay. So I'm going to go on ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to pull up, and this is actually in the business overview too. Now I guess I closed out all of that, Marianne. I did all that work and now I can't find the form. It's not coming up. Let's go back to what I just was on. Okay, doTERRA ranks. After I did all that, explain. Let's go to this. Okay, so let's talk about the different ranks that you can hit in doTERRA. Okay, there's 15 possible ranks. When someone joins, they are a wellness advocate. So if they get the $35 membership or they get the kit, they automatically are a wellness advocate and they can do the business. Now that's going to be shifting in the next month or two as they're going to be bringing out where you can just be a customer or a business person. But right now, as it holds, when you sign up to be a wellness advocate, you can do the business. So the first rank, and you're just a consultant. So when you have a membership, you're just a consultant. So the first rank that you hit is manager. And that is when you have to purchase 100 PV and you have to have an overall 500 PV. So 500 point value. So at this rank, you're a manager and have underneath you and yourself 500 point value. Okay, not $500, but 500 point value. So that's your first rank. This is a big first step. After that, and I will say with the ranking, every month you start back to zero, okay? But as you get more and more customers, it's easier to hit that rank. I hit manager on my first day easily, now, but at the very beginning, it wasn't always that way. Okay, the next rank is director, and that is when you have 100 PV order, and then you have 1,000 PV, including your order, okay? So this doesn't all have to be loyalty rewards orders. This can be enrollments. This can be, just people ordering on your team. It can be retail. So this is 1,000 PV. At these things, you're not, getting any extra bonuses or anything like that, but this is kind of where you are in terms of volume. Executive is a next rank. And at this rank, you are, have 2,000 point value. So that's a lot bigger and you have at least 100 PV order. All right. Elite is kind of the first big rock that a lot of people go for, and that's 3,000 volume on your team. So 100 PV, you have to have that 100 PV order, otherwise you're not going to rank, and it's 3,000 PV. Okay? So that's anywhere on your team. I'm just going to go to my business overview real quick. Okay. I want to say that when you hit these ranks, this is in your compensation plan that you get with doTERRA. It looks like this, the compensation plan. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see that because I'm showing my screen, but you get the compensation plan. So when you hit consultant, you get, after the first 60 days, on your top line, you get 2%. And when you hit manager, you get paid on the first line. And if you have someone underneath them, you get paid 3%. When you hit director, you get paid down to the third level. So you get 2%, 3%, 5%. I'll talk a little bit about this. But as you hit these upper ranks, you get paid down further in your organization. So like, let's say you're on the top, and you have people on your top line and your second line and your third line. As you hit these ranks, you get paid down lower, which is really big. So I can talk a little bit about that later. I can show my screen with that. Okay, next big rank, Premier, which is a really hard rank to hit. I've got several elites on my team. I think I've got like almost 20 elites on my team, several executive directors and managers. Premier, I just have a couple premiers. With Premier, you have to have 100 PV order, and then you have to have overall volume of 5,000, but you also have to have 2 executives underneath you. So you need to have 2 people at 2,000 underneath you. So that's a big step. So you have overall 5,000 and 2 legs of 2,000. Has to be within those legs. The next rank is Silver. This is the one where it kind of starts to change in the definitely monetarily for you in the business, because you get a share of the company. So when you hit Silver, you have to have 100 PV order, and then you have to have 3 elites underneath you. So 3 people under you getting 3,000 volumes. So this is kind of a big, big milestone in your business. It's like definitely when you have 3 builders underneath you, okay? Premier is 2 builders underneath you. So Silver is having 3 legs of 3,000 underneath you. You also get an account manager at that stage, your own personal account manager that all the Silvers will use. And you get a share of the company. You get 1 share of the company. doTERRA gives a 6% of their global sales every month. So you get 1 share, 1 Silver share. So it's a little extra bonus money that you get, and you get paid down all 7 levels in your organization. So that's great too. So then I have 4 Silvers on my team. Gold, I have no golds on my team. I'm waiting for them, but a Silver becomes a gold when you have the 100 PV and you have 3 premiers underneath you. So you have 3 premiers underneath, the Silver becomes a gold when they have premiers underneath them. So they have to have 3 people underneath them having the 5,000 volume, 2 legs of 2,000, okay? Platinum is 3 Silvers underneath them. Diamond is 4 Silvers underneath them. I won't go too much more into these, but Blue Diamond is 5 golds. Presidential Diamond is 6 platinums, and then it goes on and on, okay? So those are the different ranks in doTERRA. And as you kind of go through them, you'll start to understand them more. I wanted to show you that. It's kind of important to know the names, but at the beginning, I didn't know all of them to start with. Okay, so what I wanted to show was the compensation plan. You got this when you enrolled with doTERRA. This is in your folder, and this does show the levels that you get paid down once you hit those ranks. So you can see when you hit manager, it tells you the volume, and you get paid down on your first line, you get 2%, and your second line, you get 3%. And this is unilevel. This is after they've gone through their first 60 days, and you don't get paid fast start on them. So you can see as the ranks get, higher, you get paid on all 7 of those levels. And we know with doTERRA, we get paid higher up when we have people made more down the bottom. So, my top people, I only get paid 2% on, but like my people down in my organization, I get 7% on. That's my unilevel. Okay. So why did I share all that? I shared all that because I want you to think about like what rank you want to be. In the business overview with the membership, it gives an average income. So this can kind of help you think, because maybe you want to set a goal. The average income of a Silver is around $2,100 a month. And that's pretty accurate because that's what I was making around that. The average Gold is around $4,700 a month. The average Platinum is $8,800 a month. And the average Diamond is $16,000 a month. So these are averages. When I hit Diamond, I did not make that much. I have a smaller organization, and I only hit Diamond a couple times. I was more paid at a Platinum when I hit Diamond. And then I'm mostly in the Gold income right now, even I'm hitting more Gold. So I would say the Gold income is around $4,700 because that seems pretty accurate within my organization of getting that. So, so thinking about that, it helps you kind of see what rank you kind of want to work towards. I mean, we can go all the way up to Blue Diamond. You're making $36,000 a month. Isn't that crazy? It's like sky is the limit with this business. So you want to think about what you want to accomplish. Once you kind of decide what rank you're going for, either maybe it's like in a 90-day period, maybe it's a year period, maybe it's a 5-year plan, you can start to figure out how many hours it is that you want to work. So they say, like, I think in a lot of new builders, you're going to be not elite yet. So they say if you want to hit elite, and I think that's probably kind of your first goals that you're going for, If you want to hit elite in 4 to 6 months, you need to spend 3 to 5 hours a week. If you want to hit elite in 2 to 4 months, it might be 8 to 12 hours a week. And if you want to hit elite in 2 to 4 months, it's going to be more 15 hours a week. Okay. So kind of thinking about your pacing and how fast you want to go. Okay. So I think elite's a really first goal, good goal for you. So if you're not elite yet, or even executive, it's kind of almost the same frame time. For executive, 3 to 5 hours a week to hit it in 2 to 4 months. Executive, 8 to 12 hours a week in 1 to 2 months. And full time, you can hit it in 1 to 2 months if you're really, really working on it when you first start the business. Okay. But so kind of give you the frame time of hours. And this is in the quick start guide, which I'll be sending most of you new business builders in the next month, but it tells you kind of how many hours you need to work to hit those different levels. Okay. And so when we say working those 3 to 5 hours, that means doing things that are money-making activities, sampling, having classes, enrolling people, doing membership overviews, doing business overviews. It's not necessarily like creating flyers and, on Facebook. It's like doing things like sampling, having Facebook classes, maybe having individual classes. Those are the things. We need to do those other things in our business, but these are kind of more basic hours of really doing the money-making activities. Okay. So I'm going to stop there because Marianne's on the call. I'm going to see if she has any questions. Do you want to unmute yourself, Marianne? Do you have any? I know that was a lot of information. You've been with the business for a little bit, so some of it probably made some sense to you. What questions anything you came up with?
I guess one thing I wanted, like things to do, active things, is I want to try to do a webinar.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm kind of at a loss of where to start to do that.
Okay, so Renee did. Because you were on the Renee's call last Monday, right? So I'm going to do a webinar hopefully this week on Thursday, and I'm going to do it on back to school. And I actually put a PowerPoint up in our group that you can use for back to school. And so the way that you do a webinar is that you invite people to it. So you have to set it up, and I'm going to use anytime meetings because that's what I'm familiar with. So I'm going to go anytime meetings. I'm going to set a time. It's free. I'm going to say I'm going to do a webinar from this time, and then it's going to give me like a link. And then basically what I can do is have people sign up with their name and email to that link to be invited to the webinar. I can also post a link and people can join the webinar that way too. And when people come on, then I'm going to be just showing the PowerPoint and kind of talking like this. The only thing is I think anytime meeting, I don't know if they see me. No, they just hear my voice and they see the PowerPoint. We don't see anybody at this anytime meeting. And I'm going to do the PowerPoint that way. You can kind of see what I do. I think I'm going to do one on Thursday, like a back to school one, but there are already like PowerPoints that people in the Diamond Group have like prepared for basically anything. So anytime that you need like a PowerPoint on something, ask me, because they share them and they let us use it. We just have to say like, this PowerPoint was created by so-and-so, and then we can use them. So, or you can make your own, which I'm not doing. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, but that's a great thing to do and a great way to reach people that are not local too, or just people that are busy, that can't make it to a class.
Right. Does Anytime record it so that you can reuse it, or is that one of the ones that doesn't?
Well, I think that one is a free service, so I don't think it records it, but there are ones that you can pay for that do record, so you can look into that. I think that's like a quick Google, like I want to say there's one called Free Conference Call, and that one might record too. So we can look into it. I know some of them you have to pay for and some of you don't. So I'll look into that because I'm going to be doing one hopefully on Thursday. So I'll let you know. I haven't even put it out there yet. So I'm not expecting to have a ton of people on my first webinar, but I'm definitely going to put it out there.
Okay.
Good question. Did you have any questions about like the rank? That makes sense about the ranks, the different ranks and the different hours and
I'm still a little fuzzy. I know that we have to keep 100 PV in our cart all the time, and every month.
Yep.
Still a little confused, on the layering of people, bringing the legs.
Yep.
Still have a little bit of trouble with that. And I know I've messed up on my top line because I keep thinking, oh, this person's going to be a builder.
Yeah.
My top line's getting kind of big again.
Yeah, so that's something that, always to be talking through as you enroll people, either with Heather or Nadia or myself, like, what you can do. And I think the best thing you can do is ask them, when you enroll them, do you think you'd like to share or build the business? And they might say yes, and they might say no. If they say yes, great. Maybe I can start building underneath you. If you say no, then they're probably going to go underneath someone that's either ordering 100 every month on your team or underneath, like a builder, underneath your team. So the thing is, sometimes people don't know in the first 14 days that they're going to build. I know you came on like wanting to build right away. Didn't you? Yeah, you kind of had more of that mindset, but not everybody does.
Right. And I have to remind myself that I can't have the mindset for them.
Right. Yeah, that's not going to work. Believe me. Believe me on that one. So the best you can do is just kind of ask them at the beginning, like, hey, do you think, would you like to know about the business opportunity? Is that of interest to you? What do you see yourself being just kind of like a product user? You think you might share with some friends, maybe host some classes, or do you see yourself being a builder like me? And then like kind of see what they say. Oh, I'm just going to be a user. I'm going to order the products. And you kind of put them lower in your organization. If they're going to be a builder or a sharer, you might keep them up towards the top. So those are the kind of conversations you got to have with people once you enroll them. And I'm not always the best about getting that conversation done, but I try to in that first 14 days.
Yeah, apparently I'm really bad at it because I've decided everybody's a builder.
Yeah. Well, at the very beginning too, it's hard. You're just trying to get that top line going, and you're trying to get your 50 bonus. So we can kind of look at your top line. There is ways to move people around eventually. So we can look at doing that too.
Okay.
If you end up having a builder, we can put some people under people. And it's just a little bit of a lengthy process, but it can be done.
Okay.
So we can look at that more on an individual basis too. And I'm happy to, and that's what, I'm be available for mentor calls, starting this, fall, different times. And so, or even the summer, if there's a time that you want to chat with me individually, anybody as they're building, just schedule, just message me, like, hey, can we chat for 30 minutes? Let's look at my team and we can just talk through some things. I'm happy to do that with you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
For a couple of years. Okay. Great. So everybody kind of take a look at the different ranks. Think about what you want to be as maybe a final goal or even a first goal. And then we'll have to start to think about the hours you need to put in to get there, because you do have to put time into it for sure. And we want to make sure you're doing the right things. And that's kind of what I'm going to help you look at really quickly right now before we go to the end here. I want to show you the different ways to do some things to start your business. So I'm going to go to... I think that sheet got lost too. So, Edge Success. I don't want to do this. Names list. Okay, so just going to kind of go over this form here. Some things that you can do to make sure that you're getting ready to start sharing. Okay, this is for new builders or people that just want to kind of jumpstart their business again. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but congratulations, you're going to be doing the business. So congratulations if you're on this journey. It's awesome. It's been wonderful for me, and I'm excited to help all of you as you go through this. It's different for everyone, and I want to make sure that you reach your goals because I know that you can. So here's the things that have to happen. Believe it, make it a priority, take action, follow through, stay in the game, don't quit. Okay, even if you're moving little steps, just stay in it. You got to keep up with it, okay? And, in the summer, like I know a lot of people take breaks, and so that's okay. But, just that you're staying in there, you're sharing at some level, you're doing, planning classes, doing as much as you can. Okay, so getting qualified to earn, this is what you were just kind of talking about, Marianne. You have to have at least $100 order to make sure that you get the commission. And we suggest that you do 125 PV because you get the free product of the month. Okay, so everyone that's doing the business should have at least 100 PV order in their cart at all times, and you can always edit it. Okay, set a goal. That's what we've been talking about. What are you wanting to achieve, either monetarily, personally, whatnot? Do you want to get your products paid for? Do you want to get a part-time income? Are you wanting to replace your income? That's up to you. You know, that's where you want to go with it. And like I said, the sky is the limit for sure. Get connected. So we definitely have Facebook groups and everything that way you can feel connected, but the Edge Success is great for different videos. There's so much out there. I'm sure that if you're not connected, talk to me. There's so many different things out there. The doTERRA website, our Facebook groups. I don't think that's a problem. There is a little PDF reference guide for different resources here that you can look at. I don't think I've looked at that before, but let's see. This is all just for Edge Success stuff. All right, I'm gonna go back. So last week I talked about ordering the Edge Success system. I would recommend this at some point. When you can get the Edge Success system, like I said, it comes with the names list. It comes with the membership overview, the business overview. It comes with tear sheets, price lists. I think it's $100. So when you can afford that in your business, I think that would be great. And you can purchase that off the website, but it comes with all the things for a class and all these things to help grow your business. Make sure you have some oils. We know that. That you have the small little amber bottles to give samples or the doTERRA samples. Making sure you use some doTERRA catalogs and the Modern Essentials books. These are the things you need for the business. There's not a huge financial responsibility with the business. I mean, $100 to get the starter kit stuff, you know, to do the business, your oils, a few sample things, a Modern Essentials book, or the app. I mean, that's pretty low cost for starting up a business if you look at most things out there. But those are the things that you do need. All the other stuff is just kind of, you know, all the necklaces and all the fun stuff. You don't need all that. This is what you need for the business. Make a list. If you haven't done this, this is what I want you to do, especially if you're brand new and you're just getting started. Start with a names list, okay? The names list is a great thing. So write down 100 names. They challenge 500. Go to your Facebook profile, go to your phone contacts, go to your email contacts, and list down everybody, even if you don't know, okay? Write them all down. That's really big. Then from there, you set 3 dates for classes. So whether it's a webinar or an online class or a Facebook class, set the dates. So it's August, mid-August now. You could set a class for the end of August, and you could set a couple for September. If you're a brand new builder, I want you to be setting up at least classes for September and talk to your upline, if it's me or whoever, to help you get those things going and start getting those on your calendar now. Then you need to call from their names list and invite to these classes. It's good to have like 2 or 3 classes, so then you can say, I have a class this time in August and I have 2 in September. So this gives you exactly what you can say. Like, hey, Jen, I have a quick question for you. Do you have a minute? Sure. I'm curious if you're open to natural health. Now, if they're your friend, you know, you can say, hey, I'm, you know, been helping people out with, you know, taking care of their bodies using, you know, natural remedies. Are you interested? You know, you can say it in a more casual way. And then you can say, I have someone coming to my home, or I am teaching a class about essential oils. Would it be okay if I invited you? And then you send them the invitation. Would it be okay? Or I'm just curious, or really clear and direct ways. Can I give you a sample? That type of thing. All right, so those are some things I want you to start to think about. So that's kind of your job here for the next week, is come up with that names list of 100 people, and just, if you can't think, go to your phone, go to your Facebook, and just write down people, because I guarantee you there are people on there that you have not reached out to that are on there. And then set up your dates. Set up for end of August, a couple in September. Set up some dates and start calling and inviting, okay? On the bottom of here is making money with doTERRA, if you're curious about that, those things that we talked about. And here's another business thing for doTERRA. So these are a couple of videos that you can watch there. Okay, so I'm coming back. All right, so Marianne, any questions with names list, or what to say, or scheduling classes, or share, you know, I know you've done this already kind of, so any questions you have about doing it, or success you've had, or questions?
No, I don't have any questions on it right now. but I've been handing out my business card to just about every customer that walks into the Trinity shop.
Yeah.
And she sends out the consignment checks for consignees. I made up a little card with a recipe for, I think, baby wipes or baby. And then I put all my information. 70 of them went out, but I haven't heard anything from anyone.
Right. So when you're passing out information, it's always good. Now, are you giving them personally to the person?
When I hand out a business card to a customer, that after I, run up their sale and everything, and I'll say, here's information about, consignment for the shop, and if you have any interest in essential oils, and I give them my card. And then the other things just went out in the envelopes with the consignment checks.
Okay, well, that's awesome that was really great to give it out. I think that, before, if you can somehow get their information, like, would you mind putting your name on this email list so I could tell you when I'm having future classes? That would be good. Or if you were to give out those, I guess you don't know who got the actual things from the consignment people, but if you had their information, if you have all their information, you could just follow up, be like, hey, I sent out this. How did you like it? Or do you have any questions if you're able to get their information, like emails from, I don't know if you have their emails. I don't know how the consignment store works, like emails.
She's real funny about that. People don't, when you get their emails, they're afraid you're going to spam them and stuff. And it's
right. No, I get that.
So and I feel like it might be stepping on too many toes if I just like call people or something. So
right.
She did that offer, so I did that.
Yeah, and that's nice that you put it out there, and maybe if you knew who got them and they came in the store, you could follow up with them. I don't know, be like, hey, I don't know how well you know the people names or whatever, but yeah. So I guess when you check people up, like, I guess you could say like, hey, did you happen to get a sample of something in the mail, and ask them about it? You could possibly do that. Or, just keep having those conversations. But I think the better, sometimes just giving things out like that, you never know what's going to happen. But the best way is to like give it to people that are interested in it, and then getting their information back. So it's not a bad thing to do that. Like, I know like people like at a race, they'll give out like all the Deep Blue packets, versus kind of having a conversation with 5 or 6 people that are interested in getting their information and putting Deep Blue on them, So it's just kind of a different mentality of ways. Not saying that your way, you might not, and you might get some people, you never know, you might get a builder from that. You put it out there and you're helping people. But I think if we can get their information back, so if you give a card, be like, hey, here's my card. Are you, would you be open to putting your name on a list for when I get your email for when I'm going to have classes, and then you can post it, either a webinar or classes, and get your email on here, and I'll just email you if I have classes. That would be a good thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, I guess it's far out of my comfort zone especially like with the customers. I don't want to have them get upset or something because they felt they went too far or whatever.
Yeah, or you could just have a clipboard like there if it's okay. Sign up here if you'd like to know, hear about essential oil classes or something.
I could try that.
Yeah, because I've been to places before where I've seen that, and I put my email down if I was interested in something. Or you can even have like a bottle, like if she's open to it, you can have like a bottle of wild orange there, and they could like smell, open it up and smell, just have it there, and you can have like a little sound like take a smell, a smell of wild orange to uplift your day. And then if they do it, then that might start the conversation.
That's a good idea. We'll try that.
Yeah. So that could be something that you do, or like the little sample drams, like having a couple of those, and they can just, I think the bottle of wild orange is a good one because everyone usually likes that smell, and they can just, here, take a, open up for a, uplifting smell, and then people do it, and then that will start the conversation and be like, oh, your essential oils, yeah, well, if you're interested in classes, we have them here, sign up, if you want to know about them here. Or people might have, I already use them, I love them, and then, you just kind of get the conversation going.
I almost had one going with the lady because she was talking about her hair falling out. So I told her, of course, biotin, and then I said, cedarwood and lavender are good for, hair loss, and I kind of card and stuff like that. But she just asked me to write down the name of the vitamin, and then that was it. But
Yeah, that's the perfect time, you know. Be like, hey, I can get you a sample of these if you're interested. You know, if you give me your information, I'll be happy to get you a sample. And that's kind of where you go. So you're
That's,
very talkative, and I know you can have conversations with people. So I think it's just getting that to that next step.
yeah, right. That was the thing. I should have gone that step farther. Said, oh, would you like a sample or get you a sample?
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, that's what I do. I love helping people out using natural remedies. I've got some of the oils at home. You know, I'm happy to give you a sample. And they're like, yeah. And then you can say, okay, let me get your information, and somehow do it from there.
That's what I have to do. I have to do that next step and offer them a sample or something more specific.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you for being on and being my little chat buddy here tonight. So I want everybody to come up with the names. Make sure you know what your goals are, what rank you want to hit. Come up with a names list. Schedule 3 classes in the month of either August or September, and start calling people on those names lists to get them to come. Especially those of you that are new for setting up a business. It should be, you should have lots of people to reach out to, and don't be afraid. And you can do online classes like a webinar, or you can do a Zoom class like this with people. If you don't know how to do a class, that's what we're going to be working on, or someone should be able to help you with your first classes too. Wait, so I'm going to end the recording. Good to see everybody. And on this thread, I'll post this video. And if you have any questions, yeah. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording here. Hold on, I don't want to leave the meeting. I just want to stop the